Hey guys, it's Audrey with Changing Tides Energy. Just out here enjoying this amazing low tide view. Standing on this cliff here, looking down at what's usually, well, half the time ocean. Yes, sea lions have been out. They are so loud when they come up to breathe. It is such low tide, and I could see from the cabin that the sea lions and the seals were just over here hanging out. So I really wanted to get outside here, take a peek. There's a seal. All I gotta say is there must be some good fish down there. Pretty special spot right here. Seal's just looking up at me. Sea lions don't even care that I'm here. Oh my gosh, another one's coming. They remind me of dogs, the sea lions too. Or at least dogs that I've had. Noisy, slobbery. Seal is just staring me down. Hi, buddy. Oh, he's like, wow, look at him. His little flippers wagging. He's flapping like a puppy dog too. Hi. Pretty cool right now. Hi. This is a special spot. Could have probably been down there on that beach. Maybe when they dive down, I'll go down there. I considered going out on the paddleboard, but this is a pretty cool view. The water's so clear. There they go. Going down for a bite to eat. And the seal left too. We're just here for the feeding cycle of the animals and the rhythms of nature. And well, that was pretty exciting. I feel like getting to be a part of the rhythms of the animals' cycles and their behaviors is pretty cool. Watching them come up for a breath at like 20 before they dive back down and get some food is a pretty sweet little thing. Beautiful. It kind of aligns with the topic today that I wanted to talk about for day 10. Day 10 of coming back to you, my first ever Changing Tides series on YouTube. And I wanted to talk today about the little nuggets and lessons from nature that we get to embrace and that have taught me so much. I will say we're going to talk about the tides. Something that really impacted me last summer was there was a lot of change going on, and when things felt out of control or chaotic, I would remember, I would just look out the window and see it, but it would help me remember that the tide comes in, the tide goes out. Whatever is going on in your life right now, it's going to change. If something's feeling unstable or not in alignment, it's not going to be that way forever. So that's just something to recognize. The tide comes in, tide goes out. If you don't like where the tide's at in your life, then you can change your location in some ways, right? But the reality is, moving into that space of moving into that space of awareness is key to being able to identifying if you need to shift your location or not. Anyway, the tides are reassuring. There's a natural flow, there's a natural rhythm. And when you fight it, it just makes it worse. Like, if you're struggling with something and you resist it and you fight it, it's just going to be worse. Just accept it like the tides. It's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. Okay. Another message from nature that has really helped me out. I've gone from being an, I would just say an overperformer, um, working a lot and doing a lot of things because I thought I had to and not because I felt like it was really in alignment for me. Lots of things out of fear and everything like that. And with all of that came a lot of um, purpose. And when I made some pretty big life shifts and felt called to go into a different direction and felt called internal into a season of healing and a season of rebirth, I lost a lot of that external validation of purpose. And that was a tricky little ego identity death that took a little while to fully let go of. But I'm so glad that I was able to, because that surrender and like that ego death around identity of purpose and like attaching to that is the core of who you are and why you're here and all the things. That identity and that attachment can hold you captive. It can absolutely create bondage within yourself and blocks within yourself, which is unfortunate. So the message is from a flower, the message of a flower. If you're a flower and you're just blooming in a field far away in some alpine mountain that nobody's ever going to see, you're still going to bloom away. You're still a beautiful flower, even if nobody's there to appreciate it or acknowledge it. You're still doing your thing. You're still the flower. That's still your expression of God. That's still who you are. So, anyway, still remember, no matter what's going on, just keep being your beautiful flower. That's your natural expression of who you are. Then it just feels like more in alignment and more accepting and less pressure on yourself. And then you can do things more from a state of authenticity and not from a state of like fear or obligation. Sounds really nice. I don't know if you guys can hear it because I have a mic on, but the water is really making a beautiful sound. It's pretty over here. It's getting dark. So, yeah, just keep being the flower and that's good. I also wanted to share about, I was trying to decide where I'm going to go. Whew, oh boy. Okay, these sea lions, I'm just out there watching them. So I've, done some observing of these sea lions this winter and summer, I guess, too. I don't know. It's been a year. I imagine it's the same little pod or pack or whatever you call them. I imagine it's the same group of them. That, who knows? I'm sure they mix it up. But regardless, something that I noticed about them is they're super playful. They're super curious. They obviously are hungry and want to like eat, which is what they're doing right now. But they're also very social. And when I'm out there paddleboarding and the water is clear and I can see under me, like they will all swim under me. and it's crazy, and you can feel it. You can feel the energy of them. Like it's like, oh, it's makes my legs shake. It's so crazy. But they're just curious. They want to go swimming. They just want to play. I'm not going to play with them. Don't worry. But I just love I just love their energy. They just have like a just don't give a energy, you know? They're just like they're just gonna do what they want. They're just gonna flow. Cool. And pretty starfish, nice purple. Very low tide right now. Um, this is where we're at. Yeah. So they're just gonna flow. They're just doing their thing. Ooh, it's big bright orange one. Um, it's like the sea lions just don't care. They are not gonna care if you are out there or what you think of them. Like they're just gonna eat anyway. They're just gonna do their thing, no matter what. So I don't know. I think that's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Look at that. It's bright orange sun star. Really did not want to. Oh, you know what I can do? I think I can lock it somehow. No, no. Okay, I'm just gonna try to show you those. We'll do that another time. Oh my gosh, there's so many starfish out here. They all look pretty dead. Not very good starfish viewing time. I doubt they're dead, but they sure look it. It's such a pretty evening out here. Really, it's beautiful. So I really love the lesson from the flower. Just do your thing. Be your natural expression of who you are. That's what you're meant to be. And if you're not sure like what that is right now, just pay attention to what feels good for you in life. What allow yourself to really get into that creative space and allow yourself to just dream. Dream big. But anyway, I love the message from the flower. And so the orcas, the killer whales, they have brought some really big energy and really big movement for us over here in Pepsi Bay. And they have brought a lot of movement and a lot of energy for us out here in the coastal wilderness that we live. They've recently been out and we had a really intimate encounter with them when the day that I was going to Anchorage to help move out of my brother's house who's not alive anymore. So I was not feeling super great about that whole thing. Very sad and hard. And on the way to Homer to drive to Anchorage, we spent oh my God, wow. And they look really big from down here. Feels pretty freaky when you're on a paddleboard and they're right under you. Jeez, it's a cool spot to be when they came up. Uh, they come hi. Oh, we scared them. Bummer. That's too bad. Anyway, I'm sure they won't be I'm sure they won't be afraid for too long. But anyway, so the orcas that day, oh there they are again. Yeah, they are not afraid. They're curious. They're like, what? Hi. They're so funny. See, I was just talking about them, right? And saying like the sea lions just don't care. Although I did just scare them. That's pretty funny. But the orcas, so the day that they here, I'll show you something pretty cool. Looks like we've had a big sea star die off, unfortunately. But they do go through cycles. Um, and I'm sure they're not all dead. And these are the biggest barnacles I've ever seen. Oh, let me flip right over here. Yeah, sea stars just don't look very good right now. Not their season, I guess. Seems like there's a different die off of something in the ocean all the time. Jellyfish. Maybe it's the sea star time, sun star time, starfish time. Anyway, so the orca whale came the day that I was heading out and we had quite the encounter with them that lasted a couple of hours. And one of them, like they were close to the boat and we were just stopped there watching them. And one of them, one of the larger ones, swam directly at the boat where I was, right at the nose of the boat. And the water was so clear and it came right up to the nose of the boat and then did a quick turn. And then it rolled on its side and looked at me and like looked at me. So this huge whale rolled on its side and is looking at me. And of course, because it's a killer whale, all of its beautiful white markings are then showing. And it's just so massive. And so I can't say that, by the way, without thinking of my kid's annoying meme. If you know, you know. Um, but it just was so big and the energy was just so intense around it. It was amazing. And then like the mama and the brand new baby came and they just swam near and then like an older like maybe a juvenile, an adolescent came right next too as well and like several of them went under the boat and around the boat and oh my gosh, I just was like vibrating. I couldn't even barely talk. There's a video somewhere. But I'm just saying that nature can show up, energy can show up. And when I was living in the city, it wasn't showing up with orca whales, but it was showing up with other moments of love. I tell you what, the sky is a magical place to receive clarity and to receive blessings. I would be caught staring at the sky most of the time. I mean, what else is there to look at when, there's beauty straight ahead, straight above you? So the clouds and this, oh my God, we play this little game. I scare them, then they scare me. Stinkers. And the tide is so low that it does feel like you're so close to them. Oh my goodness. Um, totally lost my train of thought waiting for something big to jump behind me. So, yeah, when I was in Anchorage and I would go to like trails, I'd go to places where there are trees, I'd sit near a window, I could look up at the trees, or get outside, do things outside. I don't know, wherever you're at, there's probably the sky. It may not be water, but at least something. Woo. And yeah, you can experience that magic as well. And that universal support. I used to receive messages through hearts in the sky and like in rock formation and other nature formations. Just different phases of receiving. So different phases of being open to different experiences. Right now, I'm open to the wild Alaskan coastline wilderness, and I love it. Pretty obsessed with the ocean and water in general. I'm an earth sign, but I also have my moon sign is a water sign, and so is my rising. So I'm water and earth all over the place. Well, my sun sign is Virgo, so earth sign there. So anyway, I feel very at home surrounded by the wilderness. And those were a few of the messages that I wanted to share with you from nature. Oh, the other one. So we have a friend, his name's Eddie. He's an Ermine. Maybe I'll share a little clip in there of Eddie. So Eddie hangs out, like, we've been hanging out with Eddie since last summer. And he checks in on us in the morning. He doesn't cause any trouble really. And he is curious and funny and focused. And when he gets fixated on something, you know what I mean, like food, or we tease that he's like the foreman of the crew here, the one-man crew, the two-man crew. Eddie's the foreman, and whatever Scott has been out messing with the mill or tools or anything, Eddie will come out and do a real intense look around, has to like touch everything that he touched. That's pretty funny. Little Ermine friend. And then he's just so fixated, like he gets so focused on food or fun, curious and playful. Those are some great ways to be. Curious and playful, open and in the flow, focused on meeting our basic needs: sleep, food, water, movement, breathing, fresh air, connection. You got this. That's all good. Thanks for joining me today. And day 10 coming back to you. Embracing the messages from nature. Oh, the orcas, the message that I received from them was just abundant